That's not what I want to open. And do the thing. Because the thing is a fun thing to do. Why is the thing? There's the thing. I've got the wrong thing open. There we go. Okay, it should be good. Alright, so I got the tracker set up. Got game. Do all the things. Alright. Should be good there. Alright. I feel like I'm looking up a little more than I normally do, but oh well. Make me look more aspirational. Yeah. Oh hey, we're Samus. Wait, we're Big Head Samus even. Yeah, I think that should be good. I got all that stuff. I got all the other stuff. I got more stuff. I got stuff for my stuff and my stuff. Giggity. Let's just get right into it. Wabam. Okay, we got a standard open. Okay, I like how for the split second we saw Samus in her sleeping form, she was actually like outside of her suit. I kind of like that. That was weird. The audio actually like cut out part of the track. Okay, no randomizer. We have regular enemies. No, kind of a random thought. I've been trying to figure out, well, I've been meaning to figure out how to make the timer transparent for the background. That's not the worst weapon. Yeah, I've been trying to, I wanted to figure out how to make the timer have a transparent background so I could actually, like, not have it block the screen at all. I just realized I could actually, if I do get that set up, I could just have it do, basically put it, like, on the bottom of my avatar here. Come on. Yeet! Just arrows. Although there is a chance that it's the middle tier pack, so we get like a 4-pack of bombs from them eventually. I do want to experiment. Okay, that's not exciting. Okay, they are purely arrows. Yeah, I think within like 3 drops you can tell exactly what prize pack a certain enemy is in. Yeah, the 2 best ones are the ones that give you like a red rupee, like a fairy, like a 10-pack of arrows. There's like a bunch of different things that they can do. Yeah. Okay, vanilla small keys. Not the bad. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, I don't need arrows. Yeah, Cannon Spark can be kind of a fun weapon to use in certain circumstances. If you get it set up properly. Gotta make use of the enemy's aggro, just have them just like completely run at you, even though it's completely useless for them. Also, I kind of need to turn my volume back up for the game after the Steam Library Tour shenanigans. It should be good. Just to make sure you don't... Well, there you go. And Bob's your uncle. There we go. Oh, the items suck so far. Which might be an indicator of a fairly standard seed. We'll find out. Although my hopes are not exactly high. Because I've been bamboozled before. Yeah, not really too much to comment on at this early part of the seed. So just kind of enjoy the Zelda vibes. Or if you're into that, like the early dungeon ASMR, if you will. Just stair walking. I think these guys have the same drop as the guards. Yeah, the snakes have the same drop as the guards. The rats are gonna be their own drop table. Maybe the rats will actually be decent. And then the bats just don't have any drop table. Oh, we have random maps. Okay. We're not going to know about compasses from this dungeon, because this dungeon doesn't have any compasses. That's possibly a good start. I think that's just money. I want to say that's just money. We don't know yet. Oh. There's not a lot of rats here, but we can use the pots, I guess. Okay, yeah, they're just money. So no early bombs. Oh god. Nope. Ain't having none of it. Despite having already had like half of it. Oh, and there they go again. I probably should grab a heart, but eh. Alright, we're good. Now, I figured if I can actually talk to the priest under Zelda and get the full health regen. I cannot. So it's only on the re-entries, unfortunately. Yeah, the vanilla game kind of relies on you opening up the chest and getting the Sanctuary Heart, which does give you a full restoration. The only full heart in the entire game to do so. Because every other full heart you get from when you beat a dungeon, and they give you a refill for beating the dungeon, so they don't really apply that to the regular hearts. Can we get the bonus? No bonus. So I'm guessing this is tier 2. Not ideal. I do want to see if we can get like the bonus item thing. Because if you get enough of these guys' drops, they drop like an extra... Okay, just a heart. Just like that. I think it's like the 6th drop thing that they let out that becomes the special one. Which is also randomized, obviously. Okay, just money up there. Yeah, it's one of the few ways you can really super try to get like early bombs or anything like that. That's just magic. And I don't think any of the packs with bombs in them start with magic. So unless like the bird has a sudden bomb to bestow upon us. No, just more magic. No, we don't know what dungeon we need to beat, so we'll pick up maps. You know, one thing that would be kind of nice with the maps as well is that in the event of like a dungeon entrance shuffle, it actually lets you know which dungeon entrances are actually which dungeon. That'd be kind of a cool thing to know. That way, not only do I have to yeah, because I don't have to remember or try to remember which dungeon is which entrance, on top of remembering which ones I actually do. There we go. Let's freaking go. Yep. was not expecting that cough there. I was trying to merely cover up a yawn. Which I can't really fully cover up because then I kind of recognize that my eyes are being closed, and so it closes my cat avatar's eyes. Oh! This is retro small keys. Because we should not have gotten a small key there without small key shuffle otherwise. Okay, it's been a while since we've had a retro small keys. Also, blue mail is good. And my tracker's not updating. Because tracker is dumb. Alright, should update momentarily. There it goes. Wait, if we're already in Gravity Suit, what's red mail gonna be? I legit do not know. Hey, bombs. Okay, so far no pot shuffle, which is kind of good to know. You should all be money. Oh no, we do have pot shuffle. Okay. We just had one pot that was different. I was getting a lot of like little nickels and dimes. I don't want your money anyway either. In that, we're in agreement. Yay, health. Yeah, even with blue mail, like, all the hearts early on are good. So. Wait, when do we get a bottle? I have absolutely no recollection of getting a bottle of any kind. I mean, I'll take it, but I don't remember it. Maybe? If this is swordless, that's gonna be our way into Aghanim's Tower. Oh, I'm starting to think this is swordless. I'm always afraid when I get hammered this early, we're gonna have a swordless seed. That's kinda how they work. Okay, so no shop sanity yet. Let's get one. I probably shouldn't get this just yet, but as a general rule, you need to buy about, like, at least 5 to 8 keys throughout the course of an entire retro, or small key retro, what do you want to call it, run. So we'll get the first one out of the way. Please don't be boots, please don't be boots, please don't be boots. Okay, good, not boots. Oh, I like that. Give, please. Thank you. Alright, South Shore time. This way. That was failure. I kind of want to know what the stun prize is, but I don't really need to right now. Welcome on in, sir. How have you been doing? More maps. But yeah, welcome on back in. That's always nice. Ooh, lamp. We've had much worse starts. We're making some moves. I do have suspicion that we're in a swordless seed, which kind of sucks, and we do have retro small keys, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just tends to be annoying. But yeah, overall, not too bad a start. Okay, more money drop, guys. Kinda would've liked a heart, but... Key. I do enjoy being a cat, yes. Also, Moon Pearl. Yay, Moon Pearl. I'm a real cat now. Okay, so we do have an extra heart, so we can take one hit from the crabs. Yeah, you're part of the starter kit cat. One day, you too shall become full feline. I know not when, but I know it shall occur. And stun prize, vanilla stun prize. I do not approve. Got some pew-pews. So, yeah, we have nowhere near enough money for Zora, so we're just gonna go right to Eastern, probably. Okay, so, yeah, we don't have access to Dark World yet. Unless... Actually, yeah, if this is a Swordless Seed, then we do have access to... Aghanim. Which, yeah, because... Yeah, we have... Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a required Aghanim already. We're not really getting, like, any hints or ability to complete much else at the moment. Now, granted, there's still about... What is it? 6 items? No, 7 now. Between Eastern and Sahasrara. So it could be something there we could use for progression, but... Yeah, we already have everything we need for a vanilla Aghanim, so I'm kind of thinking that might be the thing. And he will actually have 2 items on the way to him, because we do have small keys as retro. Maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing. Okay, let's go do a shop check and check what's on Lake Hylia Island. And I think since we're more or less in the area... Yeah, we'll check Sahasrara and Eastern first, and then make our decision from there. Another map, wow. A lot of early maps. That freaking sniper. Got... Okay, so we do have Shop Sanity. Do I want the bombs? We haven't found an enemy that drops bombs yet, so I'm picking up the bombs as a safety. Plus, they're not that expensive. Bob. Game. Game, I disagree. Game! I wholeheartedly disagree. I'm probably gonna die, even though I have blue mail. And we got bombs anyway. Oh well. Yeah, I'm putting like 10 to 1 odds. Actually, well, would it be around? Yeah, because yeah. Okay, I think the correct phrasing would be that we have 100 to 1 odds that this is not an Aga seed. I do not see many other routes outside of having to go through Aghanim. Pot Sanity strikes again. In the face. I got 20 bucks out of it. That's not bad. In this economy, we take what we can get. only I had a bow to use those with. Okay, big keys are vanilla. Triple confirmed, because I should have realized that when we did the escape, but... Yeah, so retro small keys, big keys vanilla, maps are shuffled. We don't know about compasses yet. With any luck, we'll confirm with this dungeon whether or not compasses are shuffled. Unless Compass is like on the boss and we won't actually know for sure. Yay, health didn't really need at this moment. We do have the big key, so we can just do this right away. Okay, vanilla compasses. Alright. We got kind of a little bit of everything with the dungeon item distribution. We have shuffled maps, vanilla small keys, vanilla big keys, and small keys are special. As always. Bop. Right. Okay. That worked. Reposition. Oh, I got plenty of health. It is not swordless. Yes. Okay, so we can't finish up with this dungeon. Okay, so yeah, I think we're better off just going for our Aghanim right away. Because the only other thing we have left would be Agina. And even on the off, well, even on the off chance that he does have like a glove or something, I think that'd be the only thing that would actually get us Darkhold access otherwise. Even if Aghanim or Agina had a glove, we would still want to try to get the 2 items in the chest up ahead here. Given that they can in fact be proper items. That's not the way I want to go. Yeah, technically if this were a race, this would be a gamble I'm making. Wouldn't be a bad gamble necessarily, but it is a gamble. The Aghanim's Tower does take a decent bit of time to like fully clear. Ow. Ow. Biatch. Ah, damn. Wrong direction. I mean, we got a bomb. I'll take that. Tink. Balls. Bowels! Balls in my bowels. Because we do have pot shovels that are not guaranteed to be hearts. Yeah, we got half lucky. Ow. Okay, I guess normally I don't let myself get caught in the diagonal there. Yeah, that room just seems like inconsistent sometimes, and I don't really know why. Ah. Booyah. Alright, let's see if we can make this room clean. Somehow it was clean. Then we got you. Yeah, the little, like, eyeball bat things, you do not need to kill in this room. I don't know why they set up not to have to be killed, but they are. Ah, damn it. Okay. I thought I was gonna miss one of those somehow. Yeah. Try to find a heart. I realize there are 2 bombs in here. That's good to know. There's a heart. And just completely ignore you guys. Okay. I thought I was going to get myself self-stabbed there. And that was not an accidental doublespeak. That was literally me saying self-stabbed. Because in my mind, that phrasing made sense. Hiya. Okay, good start. Well, that's how the averages work. Okay, 2 more. Uno más. Eins mehr. You suck, Aghanim. You suck and your mama dresses you funny. And dead. Because the first shot in each cycle is guaranteed to be a fireball. Wow, 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 wow. Alright. What is the goal? Okay, GT is required. We technically only need 2 crystals. We'll see how many crystals we need for Ganon's tower, though. Because that is also very in the formulation of victory having. But right now, we cannot complete Pod. We can get most of what's... Actually, no. There's only 1 key. There's not a lot we can actually do there. What else can we do? We can sneak our way into the right side, where you would normally need a bow. That may not be the worst idea. I'm trying to think if there's any small keys in Pod that you don't get from chests. I think there's only like a handful of things we can really do there with just like 1 basic key. Yeah, I don't think there's any enemy small keys we get. We have to rely just on... Actually, I'm not even sure which door we want to use the small key on. Of course, it also assumes I actually did get the trick done correctly. It's entirely possible not to be done correctly. $20. I'm also trying to figure out just how many chests I can actually get with only spending 1 small key, too. Because we could theoretically do a bomb jump to get across to... Actually, yeah, theoretically, there's only like 2 chests we'd be skipping out on with the 1 key. The thing is, pretty much this entire dungeon is considered out of logic until we actually get the bow, basically. Or not the bow. Actually, no. Retro small keys, I think it's considered just in logic whenever. Okay, so use that to get some mana usage. And this should work. Yeah. There we go. Got it. Oh, yeah. Have a desert. Okay, I keep forgetting I need to hit the switch first. Ah. That game. I want to get that chest first at the very least. Because in the event that that's the big key, I can actually use that. Actually, no, I think the door leading out of the dark room actually does still stay locked. We might not be able to get out, if that ends up being the case. And I think because we don't have mirror, we wouldn't be able to respawn back in dark room to save and quit. I have no means of actually triggering that from that bridge. I have to use the old school route. Yeah. Okay, so we'll be using our small key here, so... This does give us access to a good chunk of, checks, though. We get access to the big check, or big chest, and 2 others. By using the hammer yum. Oh, there's another small key. I forget vanilla small keys can also disappear over regular chests, too. If we really wanted to, we could still progress. We are taking all this money, by the way. This is a full-on Chef's NDC. We are taking the money and running. Hey, more small keys. There's a compass. So I actually wonder if there's any like code in the logic to guarantee like X number of small keys in Y dungeon. I don't think there necessarily would be. I don't know if I'd say there should be even. Okay, so let's do the hammer yump. We'll hope we find the big key inside one of the 2 chests in the dark room. Failing this, we'll just have to do a proper reset. There. Yeah. I should have double checked on my previous pause buffers, but yeah, we do not have the big key yet. Hey, there's another small key. What do we get here? Just a heart. Now, if this is actually still locked, I'm just going to save and quit so I can save the small key. We don't need to come back in this way. Yeah, we're saving and quitting. If we don't need to spend a small key, we're not going to spend a small key. So... I guess Dark World. We do have money for Zora. And we can actually, yeah, let's go ahead and do the Zora area. That's a good 4. 3 checks we can get, 1 check we can see. Don't know if we actually need to go back later or not. It's still worth it in my book. So we can at least know what everything is. Because that doesn't always populate with a bee. Hopefully this works well. Yes, it does. Yeah. That was a weird pop. You know what? We have an empty bottle. I think this will put us back in the swim state, but we can easily refix that. Nope, we're good. In fact, I hate that. There's almost no use for a bug whatsoever. Like, ever. There's like one or two maybe gags you could do with a bee, but that's really about it. There's no actual like functionality behind it. And actually, since we did a save and quit to get here, if nothing, actually we can find out what it is because he tells us. You make me sad. Alright, so back to Dark World, cycle back around to get to Thieves Town and all that good stuff. Yeah, now we have the Gift of Knowledge. So, I guess we could get Hype Cave first. There's a good chunk of items down there. Plus there's a shop check we can do. Yeah, let's actually go this way first. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, this will be 5 items plus 3 possible slots. And since we know we don't need to save up for Zora, we can spend our money a little bit more freely. You know, we'll take the cheaper key. 45% off Black Friday sale. Or Cyber Monday at this point. Maybe they're like me and they're posting their Black Friday sales like late because they completely spaced on what day it was. They're like, hey, Black Friday sale, even though it's not technically Friday. Just play along, okay? We love you. We love you long time. Ooh, okay. I will gladly take fire. Oh! So we have Trinex Cave. Everything we need to kill Trinex. Except for, you know, swords, but... Technically, we could already use hammer for that. Yeah, we could go do Forest Kid, but it's kind of not worth the walk just to get, like, the one item there. Especially considering we can't really go back to where we want to go from that direction. Ah, we can actually get catfish for it. Oh, no, we can't because we don't have a glove. Oh, that's actually annoying. One of the benefits of going this route we actually cannot do. I am sad. Nothing we can do here until we get mirror. I thought I had hammer equipped for some reason. We can see what's... Actually, yeah, we can even get the bumper cave item if we really want it. Yeah, I had a feeling it was fake, but I needed to make sure. Oh god. Oh god, why? Oh, we want that. God damn it. Please have a glove. Please, shop, I beg you, have a glove. Show me love and have a glove. I hate you. Let's go ahead and get another key while we're here. So hopefully there's a glove at the shop to the south of here. Otherwise, we're going to be sadly mourning that the mirror. So we cannot get to it until we have glove. I guess I've done things when we go through Skull Woods, we can see if maybe we get a glove in there and still keep it relatively in efficient check logic. We'll have to see. Do I spend the money on the ferry? No, I'm not going to. If I need to refill, I'll just do like a Death Warp in Skull Woods. Are you serious? So, on to Skull Woods. And actually, since we have a bunch of small keys already, I'm just going to go right into the quote-unquote soft lock route. Alright, now if we die, we just respawn at the start of this little fall pit here. Which is infinitely more bearable than having to restart from, like... Oh god, it's very hard. You move. Random noises of panic. Okay, so we got a refund on that key. I think I might just like dip out of the dungeon, come back in, and then just like knock myself into something so I can get full health. Ooh, bow. I like the bow. In fact, with that, we actually can full clear Eastern and Pod now. Oh, okay, so... yeah, definitely doing the... leave and re-entry. Take that so we can get our health back. Then we're bomb jumping to that big chest. I'm amazed that thing didn't hit me there. That's not helpful. Yeah, we should theoretically be able to full clear this dungeon. The boss is gonna suck with Fighter Sword. And not have magic, but... There are worse situations that we've been in. Okay, we just need... Cane of Samaria. I like how the... oh, there's a Wall Master. Okay. Ow. Why? You know what? That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I'm just gonna do another death warp. Not really a warp per se, but refill our health. And then none of those had a magic in them, so I'm not gonna try to rely on those. Pick up a free small key in here. What does this have? Absolutely nothing. There's a small magic. Lure them over so that they don't body me. And the tracker's not updating. Oh, no, we don't have mirror yet. For a second I was like, we should have mirror. Then I'm like, no, we should not have mirror. Because the seed is not liking us as much as I would like for it to like us. Yeah, nothing really doing with that. So these two pots should still be small keys. Okay, I got the double on that at least. Oh god. No. Well, that took 80 years, but it worked. Okay, I was not expecting there to actually not be both the small pots. Or small pots. Magic vessel things. Actually, not sure what they're properly called. Okay, another one there at least. Pop you into there. Alright, there's the... God damn it! I am anger. We already have all the dungeon items, so that chest is gonna have something in it. There's a small magic. I get to do this again! Yay! Yeah, double hit. Oh god, that was close. Okay. I'm not gonna be able to get that in time. Yeah, I do need a full magic to be able to do everything I need in this boss fight. There should still be another magic somewhere in this super tile. Okay, that was not what I expected, but we'll take it. Okay, you just had a regular or no drop there. Please be a small magic, one of you two. Well, this is probably gonna suck. At least we do have blue mail, so if we get hit by any like the projectiles, we're good. The problem is if we get hit by spikes, that damage is not reduced by armor. Ah, crap. Oh, I think I think he tanked the hit. Yeah, because otherwise we have to focus on actual like spin slashes to do damage. Which, that wasn't bad. I gotta face downwards, otherwise I... There we go. Okay. That was not so bad. So, no glove. That's saddening. One crystal down. Going to get the other item. My internet is being a dumb. What the hell? It's... okay. It was literally at like 0 consistent for a few seconds there. That is highly frustrating. Like... the thing is, part of me wants to initially think it's because of the fact that I have like a wireless internet connection set up right now. Maybe that's why I'm getting like the random drop frames like this. But I know that's not the case, because while being hardwired to the internet, I've still been having these frame drop issues, and I don't know what causes that. And I wish I knew. I mean, at least now we're back to our normal bit rate, but still. Yeah, just out of nowhere, we basically lost like 20 seconds of stream almost. I mean, it's possible that maybe it's just something with like the graphics card I have. I know AMD is not exactly the best when it comes to doing like streaming and encoding in that sense. It's better for like the actual gameplay of games, but not really good about actual video processing. I wonder if that has something to do with it. But I don't really have a way to like fully suss out whether or not that's actually the case. I want to explore the rest of this before I go into Thieves Town. Every time. $20. Gotcha. Well, that sucked. Okay, so there should be basically 6 items in here. I know one chest is normally a small key, one chest would normally be a map. And there's normally 4 items in this dungeon, not counting those, so... There's 2 so far. Neither this upcoming chest or the next one has to be the big key because of the way the dungeon is laid out. I was so sure I was going to get hit there. And upcoming big key. Big key, yay! I always forget whether or not I want to just keep walking or, like, pause when that guy fires this thing. It's mostly consistent, but I always forget, like, which one it should be, and I don't know why. French vanilla small key. Yay, the enemies like me. That is not permanently dead. I think the death cloud has to be like fully away before it's considered like actually dead for the duration of the dungeon. Oh, I wish that I had the boots on, so that I could be good at this game. Right, no gloves. But I actually have to do it this way. It is weird to actually have to go through this room by killing everything. Like the antithesis of the normal routing. Can I... Nope. There. Now hopefully they stay dead. Actually, I'll be changing super tiles, so they're not going to stay dead. That's unfortunate. Unless their state of being dead is actually literally linked to the dungeon and not just a super tile. We're about to do more science. Ooh, the nether shield. Doesn't actually do anything, but it looks cool. Yeah, they respawn. Actually, only the red one respawned. There's supposed to be a blue one, too. Oh. Okay, why do some enemies respawn and... Oh, wait. Okay, so the ones in that last room there, I know why some of them respawned and some didn't. Because those were based on the fact that they were stunned when they were killed, which does respawn them. I don't know why the blue one didn't get respawned though. Huh. Ah, damn it. Oh god. Oh god, why? Come, game, please. Okay, good. I always panic when I mess up the second phase. Okay, there's our organic code requirement. The question remains, how many do we actually need for Ganon's Tower? Given that we do need to actually beat Ganon's Tower to beat the game. So yeah, at a bare minimum, we also need one more sword upgrade. If we don't have Master Sword, we can't even think about progressing in the Ganon fight. So still no gloves of any kind. This is being a weird seed. So where could You know what? I think gloves are going to be at Agina. Yeah, if we haven't found gloves anywhere else, and they're basically preventing us from doing like much else for checks. So either gloves or flute is our next progression. Come on. Dude, I'm going left. Oh god. Forest Kid. We can get Forest Kid. So if it's not Forest Kid, I think it has to be a Gina at that point. There's nothing else I can think of that we have access to. We also don't have Flipper, so we don't have logical access to Catfish. We already did all the Zora checks out of logic. Yeah, it's got to be a Gina. They'll have either gloves or flute. I think here's the other thing about that breakdown. If Agina is gloves, then we actually lost time by putting him off until this point. If Agina is just flute, I mean, we would have lost time for not being able to do like most of well, actually no. Is there much difference? Because either way, we'd have access to Death Mountain. But without glove, we would only have extra access to Death Mountain at that point. I guess we also could get Book here to get access to Desert. That feels like a real edge case. Not gonna lie, I would kind of like that right now, because that would actually give us more stuff to do around here in this trip that we've taken. So it's not that. There's no shops I've missed. Okay, so neither of these are red crystals. What's on Desert Ledge? I guess we could... Actually, it might... So our progression... Okay, our progression is actually going to be either in Eastern or in Pod at this point. I did not mean to... Okay. So let's go to... There's more stuff we can do in Pod. But we can also just outright clear Eastern. So I'm also trying to think about how best to like save my small... You know, we have a bunch of money. We can just buy more small keys. I think that we could buy more small keys here. Yeah. And you know what? Now that we're not worried about money. Yeah, we'll get the 2 more small keys. Should be enough small keys for the time being. I don't get why that doesn't work. Like, literally, my comprehension is 0. Or why the hookshot just, like, doesn't work. On, like, certain enemies or circumstances or rooms. Which is really annoying, because it's actually, like, consistent. You can know which enemies are not going to have that work with most of the time. But I don't know why. Alright, let's go get another dungeon completed. Here's where I want to go first. I should not be as tired as I am. I mean, granted, I haven't exactly had like a lot of full nights of sleep lately with the whole Eddie situation, but still. Oh god. I had a feeling I was screwed something up with that. It's okay, we recovered. How was I that dumb? I have never missed that particular switch before. Come on. Pendant, and not a useful one. So now we'll go to pod. Yeah, as much as I don't want to spend the small key on the front door of pod, we're gonna do it. Because the time loss otherwise is not worth it. Because we have to go back to the dungeon basically twice. In order to get to the good checks. Well, to the remaining checks, I should say, not necessarily the good checks. Okay, that one, I hit the fence, so I understand why that one missed. It's everything else I don't understand. Yeah, until we get flippers, we can't do Swamp Palace. What else could we do if these are not... if we don't find progression in pod? What... There are 2 shops I haven't checked. I'm realizing this far too late. I mean, one of the shops does have a chance to be 100% vanilla still, so that one's not as big a deal. But the Dark World Potion shop, I should have known to check that when I was first trying to go through, like, friggin' Catfish. Now watch both of our gloves be in, like, a single shop. That would be full-on level shenanigans. Yeah, okay. That's a weird spot for that switch to be. Okay, so the switch is there. Yay for things not helping. Oh, there's a big key. I kind of hate that, actually. That just encourages us further to actually spend the extra small key in the darker area that we don't necessarily need to be spending. I mean, I guess we don't really need to worry about the money, because we haven't seen anything like super useful in the shops yet. But yeah, I'm kind of a penny pitcher when it comes to seeds like this, which is not really helping my case. No, that is not it. There we go. I mean, the fairy is kind of nice. Ow. You know what? I'm saving this call or small key efficient or otherwise. Especially given that the only thing we... How did I just forget that? No, one of, like, my... If I ever actually achieve affiliate, and I have a chance to get emotes, I am tempted to have one of my first emotes be, like, a fairy, like, aggressively reviving me. It's like, no, I'm trying to do this. And the fairy's like, no, screw you, you're living. Now, to be fair, I don't really give it, like, very many opportunities to do something like that. But I feel like whenever the opportunity does arise, it always ends up happening that way. We do have bows, so we can do this. And we have Canis Mario, so we can do this. Unfortunately, the sword spin dash trick is not going to work when it's just fighter sword, so there is no fast draft for this room rather than just, you know, not miss my hammers. That could have been a little bit better, but not by too much. There we go. A pair of quad arrows to the face. Whale balls. And of course the green pendant is that pod instead of Eastern. So let's go check out Reverse Potion Shop. And when we don't find any pairs of gloves there, we will have ourselves a good cry. Then we will go visit Sahasrara. I'm trying to think of a backup route if like none of those wind up being what we need. So I mean, I guess we could check the like World Potion Shop. It's possible that's randomized, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I did already check the Dark World Potion Shop. I don't remember what would have been there, but I'm getting the vague sense I actually did the check already. I don't think I did actually, because yeah, I did not do it, because I came here to the realization I didn't have the gloves, so I couldn't bring up that big rock, then it just went right across there. So yeah, we have not checked this potion shop yet. This is probably going to be our progression of some kind, either flute or gloves. Neither. Yeah, we'll get it. So... Light World Potion Shop? Question mark? Pack of Escape. That's why I hate not getting Back of Escape when you first go through the escape sequence, because I always... We can't check Back of Escape until we get Glove. Actually, no, we could go back through Hyrule Castle. All these routes suck. Okay, so I guess we'll check the shop here. No, we could. Well, no, the problem is we actually don't want to go back to Link's house at this point. Oh god, why are you still chasing me? So if we just went back to Link's house at this point, we'd have to still kind of go around in order to get access to... Actually, I guess it's not really that different than... Okay, this job is vanilla. Actually, I guess the pathing would still be the same? We really shouldn't be worried about money. I'm stating this as a known fact. However, I'm going to get more money. Just in the off chance we need to do, like, more clearing it up. Like say this is a 7... Wait. I might not be able to do this the way that I think I can. I know if you go too far down, you actually lose the ability to do this particular... We'll do 2, 3, 4, 5. Does this still work? It does not still work. Okay, yeah. Because if you go too far down on that part of the overworld screen, you actually lose the setup for the Houlihan room. I was trying to see if there was some way I could like reset it, but apparently not. How do we still not have gloves at this point? Oh my god. We have to go this way because otherwise we just get spit right back out into Dark World by going to the front gate. This is red rupees at this point? Oh! Wait, why can't we pull that tree? Never pulled it before. Or did we? Yeah, we never pulled it before because we didn't have the option to pull it. Why did that tree not give us anything? I have been done a confuse. Ugh. I'm not sleepy, you're sleepy. Wow, got nothing. Ow. Really, game? Alright, let's go get our glove and or flute. I know it's gonna be one of those. At least. What the hell? I mean, I guess Agina. Not Agina. Sahasrara. What the hell is a seed? Okay, is there anything else that we could be doing that I've not gotten? We can't do anything in Death Mountain. In any kind of Death Mountain. We full cleared Eastern, we full cleared Pod, full cleared Swamp, full cleared Skull Woods, full cleared Thieves Town. Don't have access to Swamp, don't have access to Desert, don't have access to Ice, don't have access to Mire, don't have access to Turtle Rock, don't have access to GT. Oh my god. It's the literal worst possible case scenario. Yeah, the only other thing that gives us access to outside of the Death Mountain right now would just be Catfish. Yeah, I wanted to give us more access than that, but honestly, this is all we get. Okay, I guess it does give us access to get the mirror now. But that's also kind of a slog to get to just one check right now, and even then we can't really do too much. Actually, I guess it would have been faster to do. I'm bad. I could have actually gone to Dark World, gotten the mirror, used it immediately, and then just done all this part that I'm doing right now. That actually would have been the better route. Yeah, you know what? I'm turning in the old man, then I'm resetting and doing that, because it's going to make the routing for all... Actually, no, we wouldn't be able to get to Dark World Death Mountain anyway. Actually, never mind. We'll check up here first. If we happen to find another pair of gloves, then we're saving and quitting, and then going back to get the mirror, and then do everything else in Death Mountain. So just hard piece there. And then... money. Okay. We could do Spike Cave. Actually, I don't think we have enough magic and or health for Spike Cave right now. With Hookshot, maybe? That'd be a very close call. There's also a shop up here we can check out too. There's actually a little bit more checks than we would normally have, since we have shop sanity. I mean, okay, so the hearts will actually give us like a full pack of hearts. Well, up to a full pack of hearts, I should say. Because I think when you do, because normally that's a prize you get from like blocking certain trees, that you get a bunch of apples coming out, like a random number of them. It can go up to like 8 of them, which I was kind of hoping to be able to get there, but alas. Oh, and there's our full heal anyway. Super nether shield. Flippers! Okay. That does give us that. Oh, wow, we got all the shields now. So we do have full access into Swamp Palace now. And we can full clear it. That does not give us access to Icy X. We still need mitts for that. That puts everything from Zora into Logic, but there's like literally nothing in there. Alright, see what's on the floating island. Oh, we might want that. We got Quake on the floating island. Yeah, at this point, it's actually quite likely that Mitts is go mode. When we find Mitts, depending on what the requirements are for Ganon's Tower, we might be good to beat the seed. Which would be optimal. I'm regretting not getting Mirror again. Well then. Yeah, Mirror would be making like this part of the dungeon faster. Okay, so at least the big key is there. So there's a chance that the compass is in the basement. At which point we could save the small key and some time by not doing it. I thought I had a system set up for that. Apparently I didn't. I am sad. I guess it only works with like Master Sword and above. Good to know. Oh god. I thought it was being smart. Okay, so no compass. Never mind, we have a compass. Crap. So we do have to go back and actually do the basement just to make sure we're not missing anything vital. Yeah, because the glove that we need could almost be anywhere right now. Well, there's some places it couldn't be, but there are definitely more places it could be than it couldn't be at this point. How did I not fall? Okay. Come on. Come out. There's one. Two. Today's. Alright, so we have both fire sources. We spend some time down in the basement. And we don't have a way to quick back our way out because we don't have mirror. The longer I go, the more I regret not getting mirror first before coming here. It does suck having to spend a small key there, but honestly we're actually doing kind of good for keys. I'm actually not all that worried about that particular aspect. There we go. Alright, sit back, relax, get yourselves a cup of tea. What symbol are we making today? Don't know what that is. I don't think it's like kanji for anything. All that for a friggin' refund. I vehemently disagree. Okay, so let's go get Spiral Cave. If we don't find our last set of gloves there, then we're gonna do a reset, get the... Actually, I suppose at that point we'll be getting mirrors, so we can't do much else anyway. Oh yeah, what was the... Okay. Crystal. We might be able to do Spike Cave now, but... I'm not 100% confident, so I'm gonna hold off on that. And that's kind of one of the problems, that Titan Mitts could be in Spike Cave. There's nothing preventing... Yeah, there's nothing preventing them from being there, because we can get access to that without Titan's Mitts. Yeah, that's actually what it boils down to. Do we need Mitts for it? If no, then that's where Mitts could be. Okay. So, let's go get the mirror. What's the best routing after that? So we can... We could get Catfish. It'd be kind of a roundabout way of getting to Swamp Palace at that point. That might be our only real option. So we still can't get to Ice Palace. Oh, we could do Cave 45, I guess. Why am I going down this way? Get Cave 45. What else could we get with just mirror? I don't think mirror does too much for us otherwise, actually. Yeah, it gets us K45 and Swamp Palace. Actually, we've been checking maps. Let's see what's left. So, okay, Ice Palace is a pendant. Turtle Rock is red crystal. Okay, so we know Glove is not going to be in Turtle Rock or Pyramid Fairy. Because we would need some level of Titan Mitts access to get into either of those. It's also not going to be an Ice Palace, because we need Titan Mitts to get into Ice Palace. Okay, this is good. We're starting to narrow down places it can't be. If it's in Death Mountain, it's not in Turtle Rock. What else? So it's also not going to be on Pedestal, because we would need Titan Mitts to get access to Ice Palace, which is a pendant. I'm not sure how I managed to not get... Never mind. I was just about to say how I managed to not get bodied, as I got bodied. Look at the mirror. Actually, I guess we could also check... Damn it. I guess when we do this, we could also get the Graveyard Ledge on the way toward Catfish. So that's actually not too bad a routing, now that I'm thinking about it. Boing. We've already checked both shops here, and they both sucked. Ow. Okay, I took okay. Took damage from the thing that gave us less damage, so that's at least good. Yes, I think with just regular Power Glove, we can get access to everything here. Actually, we might not even need any gloves now I think about it. We just like sort our way through here. Actually, we don't even need gloves to get to this of any kind. Ow! Why did that hurt so much? Freaking blue mail. You know, just so we get another chance at the meme. You know, the one where I die trying to do a death warp, and then the fairy's like, "No, please don't die!" I'll be like, "God damn it, fairy." I cannot go that way, apparently. Good to know. Oh no, I have flippers. I can do this. Yeah, my other alternative would have been to do a kern jump. Which I can definitely do, it's just kind of annoying sometimes. Just depends on whether or not the trick actually wants to work. Yeah, I think maybe it actually might be faster just do a save and quit to get to Swamp Palace that way. After this check. We'll take it for the refill. Alright, so go do Swamp Palace. Right, because we have Mirror now. Forgot about that. Still faster to do it this way. But again, though, we still need one more sword in order to be able to actually get to proper go mode, too. We've not seen much rotation of that either, because that can also be literally anywhere. There's 3 of them left. I'm almost willing to bet that we're going to find like 2 swords inside Ganon's tower, but it's going to be a God GT where we get those big key and small key like immediately. That is always how it works. Yay for accidentally having the right item equipped. I thought I still had hook shot. Vengeance! I don't know what for, but vengeance! Oh dear. Okay. Hey, it's a big key. Nice. Yeah, there's literally like one shot left to check in this game, but you never know. Maybe there's something there that has like a 400 rupee cost for whatever reason. Oh right, the small key might be in one of well, probably this pot, I think. Yeah, right here. We don't necessarily need to be getting the small keys, but I would prefer to. Please get hit by that. Please get hit by that. Please don't be dumb. Please. I hate that enemy so much. He dodges things he should not be able to dodge. Okay, so that does give us access to a few more checks. That gives us access to, theoretically, Mire. And it does give us access to Desert. So that's and also access to the Mire area as well, which also has a few items. So as far as like number of checks go, that's actually kind of a good find there. Yeah, I actually have to plant this now. There's no other way to really get that switch there. Yay, small key. Actually, I didn't even need to do that then. Although, actually, no, I do need to, be able to re-trigger the switch. Or the, yeah. That I still need to do. Yeah, but otherwise we're done with shenanigans. For now. Oh, that's useless. Yeah, I could have skipped this entire section and been fine. Yeah, this is why the left side swamp is always considered kind of like almost like a, well, not necessarily a joke section, but one that is like almost never worth actually checking. Because more often than not, it's just 2 garbage items. But then there were some seeds like, so I did actually participate in the weekly randomized race for Koi stream on Sunday or Saturday, but I didn't stream it because I wasn't really in like a mindset for streaming. That was a seed in which you did want to do left side swamp, because there was a hard required item on that side. In fact, because of the fact that I always do left side swamp, I did left side swamp, and I got almost first place. I actually got second place in that race, which is really cool. I actually managed to even beat Koi himself, which is kind of cool. Boots. Gotta go fast. I am speed. Oh, well, I was trying to push that block. Bombs. Alright, so now we can do Bonk Rocks, we can do King's Tomb. We could get the library, but we actually don't need anything there. This does also give us security in case, like, the Ganon Tower big key is on, like, the torch. This does give us the security to be able to actually, like, not have to worry about that. Now, the problem is, we have the menu boss. And this is why this is known as the menu boss. Because literally everything you do in this fight just depends on how well you can menu. Oh, come on. Game. Controlling me. Nope. I don't know what causes that. So the game thinks I hit select instead of start. Oh, I missed the last one for some reason. There we go. Master Sword. Hell yeah. Now we have the bare minimum required to beat Aghanim. Would I like more? Hell yeah. Would I like silvers? Hell yeah. Would I like tempered? Hell yeah. Would I like butter? God, yes. But at the moment, that is beyond our reach. We at least got that. Yeah, now we need to activate the flute. And since we're kind of going that way anyway, we'll go ahead and get... I keep forgetting about that. So we'll activate flute, and we'll also get the King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks checks. Oh, wait, we need to go to Dark World for that first. Never mind. Now, unfortunately, going to Dark World for that one particular check is kind of slow, so... I'm not inclined to do that one. Which will really suck if that's where Titan Bits are. That means that'll be last location. I think that was a crystal. Doesn't really matter which crystal at this point. So I think we'll do Myers Shed, then we'll do Checkerboard Cave, then we'll get into Desert Palace. God damn it. That did not do what I thought it did. Does that actually do anything for us then? I don't think it does. Okay. Let's go do Spike Cave. With the fairy in a bottle, we actually might be able to not even use a single bit of magic to get through this. Alright, let's see how well this works. Oh, that did not work. Oh, perfect. That gives us access to desert, I guess? Do I want that? Okay, so we can get Bombo's tablet first on the way to... Yeah. I think that's the best-ish route. Emphasis on the question marks. This being such a very convoluted seed. Almost catch it. Next time, catch it. I'm so glad I checked that first. Okay, so I'm still going to be doing a few more of the Death Mountain checks in hopes of getting the Tempered Sword. That'll make the Ganon fight like 80 million times easier. Yeah, otherwise we're in go mode. Well, theoretically we're in go mode. Pending the amount of crystals required for entry. Yeah. Alright, so we'll check the shop. We'll check everything on the way. Oh, yeah. I guess. We really don't need money anymore, so may as well. Thank you. That was a delay with the hitbox. That I was not expecting. Actually, I do want the hookshot first. So 2 buttons to get to a mirror. So, come on. Ooh, I kind of screwed that up, but I still made it work. Oh, half magic, hell yeah. Half magic also makes me feel a lot better about things. Alright, will we find another sword in here? Ooh, silvers, okay. We'll gladly take those. Alright. Now the question is, do we have access to... Oh, right, I have Master that doesn't actually do anything to them. Actually, one thing I could do as well is I could also go to the Ether Medallion. Use that for... Yes, okay, we have access. Wow, the same requirement, actually. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to check the tablet here before going into GT. Just in case it has to be something cool, like another sword. That's actually about the main thing we'd be interested in at this point. Maybe, maybe powder. We get a chance to get some more fairies if we need to, but yeah. Yeah, the main thing we're looking for is basically sword and big key. Alright, hope room. Nope. Sword! Okay, we have a perfect seat now. Ooh, it's perfect. I kind of like that version of purple. I'm not normally like super big on the color purple in general, but I just like that one in particular. Also, I forget if... I think this is a different... Yeah, that's a different super tile. We're gonna have the small... pot small key somewhere on the other side. Okay, not that one. Come on, big key. Come on, big Kia. Yeah. There. Oh, okay. Wow, the sea could not have ended better. The only thing that this could have been made better with would be if we got, like, red mail. Otherwise, yeah, this is literally everything we could ever hope to ask for. That's not what I wanted. Okay. We'll deal with it. Ah, damn. There. Yay, double heart. Wait. I don't want to do it, damn it. Well, now we're not gonna have the guaranteed RNG at all. Oh, it almost worked still. That would have been cool. Back down here and take what's coming to you. I'll bite your legs off. Oh my god, please. Please. I love when at least that room goes well. Yeah. No powders, we can't convert that to health. Damn. Okay. Oh, almost got it. Ah, so close. Zoomies. Good. Wait, that's not what I want. Like that. I need to learn the actual fast track for this room. I always think I know it, but then as soon as I actually go in and try to do it, it's just like nothing happens. Yeah, the thing is, I want to check the other chest for something, but there's like just literally nothing else to check for. We have everything. Yeah, no powder. Oh, yeah, powder's there. That it would kind of suck not to be able to get that, but eh. Alright. I just realized I did not pick up the full magic, so this is what we're gonna have for Ganon. It seemed like it was better on that ice than normal for some reason, but I can't explain how. Damn it, only got one. Okay, got two there at least. Yeah, I realized too late that I was not going to be able to make that angle work. Okay, I was not expecting that double hit on the single swing there. I'll take it, though. Fly away, bat. Fly away! Alright, let's do this. That's all I need for that phase. Oh, one more to grow on. Oh, that was close. Almost got his Firebirds out. The Lantern ready? I didn't even get to hit the attack button there. Okay. Got the setup at least. Got him. Alright, overall, I'd call that a pretty good run, all things considered. With how trolly both glove locations were. Bit of time. Alright. So, while that goes through the credits, I'm starting getting a Super Metroid Rando set up. This was meant to be a trapezoid. Nerd! Okay. Let that run through. I have a bookmark. We can use that. Okay, I did that too early. Wait, why wasn't that shuffled? Okay, Kier got excited about something. Progression speed. Actually, let's make the progression speed random for the Super Metroid going forward. I'm kind of curious as to how that might actually affect things. Not really worried about progression difficulty. I don't think that's ever really... Oh, okay. Doesn't really change much. Yeah, everything else should still be about good for normal stuff. Randomize and customize. So... is there anything new? Not seeing anything new. We'll go with our kind of our new standby with color randomization this time. There's the seed. Where is my folder for stream stuff? There. And Super Metroid seeds. Place that over there. Take that off. So yeah, the only thing I was really interested in figuring out where it was located was the powder. Let's go take a look at the spoiler log for that real quick. Game, store rando, output, spoiler. So where was powder? Powder was purple chest. Huh. Yeah, there was no chance in hell we were getting that, given that our time is Rando mode. Bombos and Quake. Okay, so we would have needed Quake to get in Turtle Rock if, for whatever ungodly reason, we actually wanted to go to Turtle Rock. But, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let these credits play out here. I'm going to take a quick little BRB. Then when I get back, we'll be doing some Super Metroid randomizer. Just a little quick seed for that. A burb. I thought the credits would be further along than that. But that's actually good, because that means we get to see all the good stuff. We get to see it together. Hey. Okay. Do a little bit of a speed up. That's still super slow, okay. I forget how slow the actual credits are in this game. Ah, EA dry throats. I felt like a first story was a lot later than that. I like how all the other three guys were like super late in the seed. We had a decent GT Big Key. That was a lot of saving points, holy crap. That was a lot more than usual. Collector rate 151, which isn't too bad actually. Because yeah, we never got into ice, we never got into mire, we never got into turtle rock, we never got into desert. We never did Smith Chain. We did do pretty much all of Death Mountain at that point. Yeah, I can't think of any other like really big stuff we never checked, but yeah, that was all in all, that was a pretty good run. Can't really complain. So let's go ahead and get the next game started. And one thing that's kind of cool I realized I can do recently is I can actually just drag the file right into the emulator window without having to actually go through the menu for it. I do have to redo the tracker thing, but that's kind of how I have to do that anyway. Start. And for some reason it likes to be weird. Then go to Metroid. Also change the timer. That was the Link to the Past. Open Metroid, regular Rando. Alright. Let's go ahead and get ourselves started. Oh, I need to update the not really doing anything super special with this run, so just yeah, it's Super Metroid Randomizer. Super Metroid. There we go. Alright, so controller setting should be good. Yep, controller's good. Special setting, turn on Moonfall. And go. Yeah, let's get right into it. I know that ship is inspired by something, but I don't know what it is. I don't think it's Tron Bonne / Mega Man Legends. But that's like the first thing I kind of think of. I know like the Bonds had like their big skull motif. Wow, actually didn't open the door. That was weird. Ah. Yeah, I think that the jumping across the platform is actually slightly faster than like the walk, crouch method, whatever that is, but it's a lot harder to get. Okay, we got 2 missiles there. Apparently the new Star Ocean game is on sale again. I thought it was already on sale, but maybe I don't know. Ooh, screw attack. Okay. I can't screw attack through these. Well, even if I could, I couldn't get through the small space below anyway. But yeah, if Star Ocean is on a decent sale, I actually will be getting that. I think it was on sale for like $15 off. Which for me, I want to get more of a sale than that, because again, I'm not really... I want the game to be good. I've heard it's not bad. Definitely not the worst game in the series, but... Well, for me, it is kind of comforting to know that the general consensus behind like which Star Ocean game is kind of the quote-unquote worst is kind of the shared... basically the same as what I consider it to be, which is basically Star Ocean 4. It's probably not for the same reason that I don't like it, but you know, for like what the general consensus is. But yeah, I'm kind of glad at least that's consistent. For me, my only issue with Star Ocean 4 is one character, whose name I have thankfully forgotten. I do not wish to have that character in my thoughts in any way, shape, or form because there's no reason. Yeah. So, okay, Star Ocean 4, there's a character that you get who's I think grandfather slash adoptive father, whatever, slash elder of the town, whatever, is basically afflicted with some kind of quote unquote disease that actually eventually petrifies his entire body. I don't want to go too on yet. Yeah, it basically petrifies his entire body over time. So you do get a chance to talk to him before everything kind of like finalizes. Slight spoiler, he does eventually croak. And then he basically has his daughter accompany you on your journey. You know, because apparently she's like a really good aspiring magic user. And her spells, I think, are actually fairly good. The problem, she's 6 years old. And her uncle slash elder slash whatever is sending her on a trip that would involve lots and lots of death and pain and everything. And just why? Why would you send anybody that young on an adventure where she could literally easily die? And that's not even the worst part. The voice and I can't think what the right term is, but basically like the kind of like her catchphrase, so to speak, is the most grating sound in the history of sounds. And she says it every damn text box. Yeah, I could go on like full-on rants in regards to how I feel about that one character from Star Ocean 4. If not for that one character, I would say that's a decent game. But literally, just that one character is just enough to make me go, bleh. Do we actually have Morph Ball at Gauntlet? Because there is literally nothing else I can do. We could technically do Spore Spawn. Okay, is this to see where Spore Spawn is actually a logical progression? I want to see this. But I think we might have had maybe one seed where Spore Spawn was actually logically required. I want to see if we can make it 2 instead. Squeesh. 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 Also, you can use Super Missile to open up that door and fall back through, but it doesn't actually change anything. You still have to do the boss fight. Yeah, the save was not for a risk of me like dying in this fight or anything. It's soft lock prevention. Because if I go through the pit here and I don't get Morph Ball, I cannot escape. That's what the save was, or the save was for. Oh, almost got the double. It is possible to get the double, it's just extremely difficult. Almost had it there, too. Oh, it actually gets rid of all the drops. That's actually sad. Alright, was this the right decision? Nope. I do like how there's no lack of super missiles, though. The problem, though, is that we have to go all the way back to the ship now in order to get our progression. That's another spot that can kind of like sneakily soft lock you, is that if you don't have Morph Ball and you get stuck in like a cross position in there, you basically can't get out. There is technically a way you can do what's actually like properly called wiggling out of there to be able to get yourself unstuck, but it is a very intensive process and is not even guaranteed to work like most of the time. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna refill and save here because, you know, going through this, even with my experience at this point, with only one E-Tank, kind of scary. I do not want to have to make the whole trek back if I don't have to. Okay, so I'm thinking Morph Ball is going to be at this first check here. We're actually not going to be able to progress further into there, which is actually the annoying thing. Like, this first check will be all we can do. Also gotta make sure I don't soft lock here either. Okay, we're good. Yeah, without bombs of some sort, you actually cannot progress to the second part of the gauntlet. Oh, that's why I saved. Because shenanigans. Let's get a little bit extra backup. And it always scares. Yep, there's Morph Ball. We have to escape from here now. Oh god, why? Okay, at least it didn't do any damage to me. I'll take my blessing before I can get him. Alright, now we can do things. At least some things. Like not get soft locked. Yay! We can go ahead and get the Bomb Chorizo now. See if he has anything of use. Ow. Are you worth the fight? Yes. That's one of those where honestly I could have gone without it, but I just don't really want to. Plus, it only takes 2 supers to kill him anyway, so that part's pretty quick. In the event a Hell Run is required, I definitely want all the help I can get. How far do I want to go? Actually, I still can't really do much elsewise. Yeah, let's go with early supers. See if we can get some power bombs there. The way this is set up, I think we can also do like the super big hopper guys that you also need to have the supers with the floor block, whatever. I think we can do that because you can actually trigger the gate with just a regular pew shot. We know there's nothing after Spore spawns. We can forget about that check. And we can get through. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think this is the right way. This should be about the right path. I'm actually amazed I got that jump there. Because I actually need bombs before I can even think about getting the last thing in here. And no bombs. I mean, I appreciate the supers to a point. I would like more than supers. I'm guessing this is probably like one of the slow progression speeds that got chosen. I kind of like that strat, actually. Okay, so we can't get down there because we don't have any kind of bombs, but we can get through here. Okay, more supers. My concern is in fact growing. So if nothing else, I know we cannot do Phantoon without some kind of bomb in order to get into his actual room. Oh, that's actually almost beautiful. I can get through here because this is changed to just shot blocks in the randomizer. Okay, I'm guessing there's gonna be a hell run of some sort I have to do. I also can't do Kraid without some kind of bomb either. I can't do that. Like, any of it. So we can still do the high jump boost checks. We can finagle our way into the ice beam checks, but I'd rather not if we don't have to. Wave beam. Not progression per se, but I'll take it. Power bombs. That's progression. I already have more than enough supers. Okay, for reference, what's over here? Oh, high jump. Not required, but it is nice. Alright, so let's do save here. Now, we don't have enough health to be able to get through the full-on hell run, but we can at least get into the ice beam checks with what we have now. Should be enough. Perfect. You know what, just because. We'll grab that. Alright, anything useful here? Tap, please. Thank you. Questionable. The problem with trying to get that is I'd also have to find a way to get back out without having to lose, or without losing too much health on the way back out. So I don't think that's immediately useful. Oh god, oh god, oh god, that's not what I want. Oh, this is going horribly. Well, I'm just seeing what this is anyway. I'm probably gonna reset regardless. Unless it's an E-tank. E-tank, yes. Reserve tank, no. Because the reserve tank doesn't do anything for me immediately. Yeah, the E-tank... Honestly, I might need the E-tank. Actually, yeah, we do have everything we need technically in order to get to Phantoon. And with my current gear, I want all the help I can get, like health-wise. Let's go get that E-tank, and then we'll go start heading back upward with the red tower and whatnot. Ooh, just barely. Squish. Squishy squish. Squish the fish. I mean, they're not technically fish, but still, squish them anyway. Come. And this is the shenanigans involved in trying to get out of this room without, like, losing your mind. Yeah, it's literally like a 1 or 2 frame window to actually get through that particular jump. Which is what makes that suck. You know, if I can actually build up enough health, I might try to just at least see what's in the cathedral. Just in case maybe we have, like, Varia in there. Oh, I missed one. Damn. And, of course, he doesn't. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what we can do for... Actually, we could also do Kraid. Actually, might be the better route overall. That is not a lot of health, that particular... Eddie? What was that, Eddie? You okay? Give me 1 second, guys. Eddie, what was that? You startled yourself. Why'd you do this? Eddie. Hi. Eddie. Come on, Eddie. Come on. Eddie. Why you do this, Eddie? Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go, Eddie. There you go. Hi. You doing okay? You awake from a bad dream? Yeah, I kind of like felt like the footrest shake, even though I wasn't even like touching it. Because the footrest has been a place that he's been like to make his like little bed lately. You okay, Eddie? Hi. There you go, Eddie. You enjoy the pets. It's too. The one unfortunate thing about the VTuber is that I actually can't like show Eddie getting all the pets and loves. Right now, it's just basically my avatar kind of going back and forth as though I'm the one moving, even though I'm not. Okay, now that I got my face actually in proper view of the camera, it's not shaking, but yeah. Hey, no, Eddie. What are you doing? Alright, I'll let you do as you wish. If you want to stay, you may. Let's try to get more health. There we go. That's what I like to see. Ooh, perfect. I'm probably not gonna be able to get out, but let's try it. Out of curiosity. I'm definitely not getting out after that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Yeah, I'm not even getting out. Yeah. It was worth a shot. At least now we know that check is nothing important. Eddie. I hear you purring. Alright, so on to Kraid. Get up there. Yeah, unfortunately Squirt Attack doesn't help as far as any of like the actual bomb blocks goes. Oh, come on. But yeah, it is nice to have at least for some general sections. Actually, that doesn't fire fast enough to be useful. Right, we have waves, so we can see this. Okay, yeah, we don't need it. Squeesh. I set it up too late. I realized mid-item swap that I didn't have any regular missiles, so I had to reset, and just that alone was enough to kind of screw me up. Oh, okay. You actually responded, or refresh whatever faster? Okay. That kind of works. Yeah, full power bombs. And just more supers. Yeah, I don't think I need that. I should have access to enough things at this point that reserve tanks should not be required for, like, hell runs. Come on. Oh, I thought I could actually make that as a straight-up jump. I do need to be slightly careful here lest I break the actual platforms I need to be able to climb up here. We should be good. Yeah. Aw, damn it. Okay, fine. More supers, which we don't really need. Actually, okay. Because of the fact that we have screw attack, Fine Tune is not going to suck as much as he would otherwise without having any regular missiles. Unless we find regular missiles on the way there, we're going to have to use super missiles, which cause the enrage phase, which uses up like 20 seconds of time, and we cannot attack him during that phase. So part of this might actually suck. Let's get what's in here first, and then we'll do the save here at this save room here, for the sake of expedience. I don't need that many supers, please. I did not mean to make that jump. I'm amazed I got those wall jumps to work. Neither do I. And of course no power bomb drops from either of them when I actually want the power bombs. Now theoretically I could actually finish up a gauntlet at this point. Last bomb. Okay. I need to remember where my setup is. Nope. I forget if I can have one pixel showing, if I can have 0 for eyes. I think it has to be one pixel showing. Yep, 1 pixel. Got it. I don't need that. No. That's not what I wanted to do. Come on. There we go. Oh, I didn't have the camera pan far enough. That's why it didn't work. Dang it. Yeah, camera can be fussy in this game. There you go. Anyway, why are you doing up there? Oh, why did I thought I was good. Instead, I was bad. And unfortunately, I don't have screw attack underwater. Which makes this even more painful, because they do 80 friggin' damage. There we go. That's more like it. Ooh, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, not as useful as it would normally be in the context of what we have, but we'll still take it. Alright, now comes the... Okay, the problem is I'm also down like 2 E-tanks, where I should be. But I do have screw attack and plasma, so I shouldn't have too much issue, quote unquote. Let's find out. So I do want to try to pick up as much health as I can get. Okay, so now comes the angry phase. I just need to screw attack through all of it. Alright, so far so good. So 1 super down, 3 to go. Yeah, this is basically just a fight of patience at this point. Oh, right. Okay, I got kind of lucky there with getting the 2 big health drops. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 2 more. Anyway. It's not worth going for the little ones. Ah. Instead of doing it. Ah, damn. Damn it. How did that not work? Okay, there's 1 more super than I've got to beat. There we go. Oh. I thought 4 was enough. Okay, apparently I need 5. My god. This will be my longest fight against Phantoon ever, both between successful and failed attempts. This is why you don't use super missiles in this fight. My god. There we go. Great. Alright. Got that done now. Don't necessarily need the health, but we'll take it. We'll take one more. Why not? It will make the Billy Mays section a little bit more viable. Although it was kind of already viable given our position and such. I forgot to not fire early. You know what? It's kind of too little too late, but we'll do it. Also, I want this to be the only missile in the entire seed. I want that so bad right now. Let's do this before we check out the... check over here. Actually, we can't. We need either speed booster or high jump. Or technically bombs, but I don't have that particular trick active because I don't know how to actually do that. But yeah, we don't have any of the thing required to actually be able to get into that area. That area, or that particular trick is just plain dead to us. Yeah, I want the health. No. We already have more than enough supers. I guess I really can't say that yet until we get to, like, basically 100, because that way it doesn't matter how much regular missiles we have, we'll have enough to take care of Mother Grand and such. But until then. We would like it, but we don't need it. Don't need it. I can't quite get up there. Yeah, I can't even make the jump right now. Can't even try to wall jump. We gotta guide him on his way. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. so much having one missile pack. There we go. It's gonna be worth it. Nope. So yeah, I think either progression is going to be at Gauntlet or at Retro Mother Brain. Those are the only real possibilities I'm seeing right now. I guess there is a couple things we still have in early Brinstar we could do. Actually, maybe because of that, we should probably take the more or less regular route instead. Yeah, 'cause we can't do ship PBs yet. Yeah, we're refilling safe here. Then we'll go to Gauntlet. Come on. Go. There. Game. Only I'm bad at this. Game. What the hell? Why am I so bad at this all of a sudden? There we go. Now let's do this. So health is no longer nearly as much of a concern as it was before. No, come on. Yeesh. Also, now I have enough to do a Crystal Flash if I need to. That's pretty much the main benefit of having like 15 missiles and 15 power bombs. You know what? Let's just go. Yeah. Guess we get the refills. Oh, I didn't actually need to do that, but oh well. So, yeah, we didn't have a chance to even see what this was before. Let's double check. I don't think we came back up here, did we? Semi certainly didn't. Okay, yeah. Because I do not remember that being a missile. We should still need to go through here too, then. Yep. Unnecessary ammo. Ah, damn it. Well, that's a weird set of sound effects. There's a bunch of things here we can get now. Squish. Squish. Yeah, you can only make that jump back up if you have high jump boots, which unfortunately we do not have. At least now we have plenty of supers to try this out with. That is one of the benefits of doing this check later on in a run. Wait, damn it. I did not angle. Nope. Come on. No. No. I think I'm moving too far. There we go. Not worth it. As per the usual. Nope. Head up to Billy Mays and the associated other checks. We shouldn't need to open that back up, but we will. Nope. Okay, so what am I missing? We did trade. I guess I could theoretically have enough. See, this is where the reserves actually are kind of considered. Actually, no, we can do or crystal flashes instead. I was about to say, this is one of those points where reserve tanks actually does come into logic for hell runs. But, again, Crystal Flash is much better. The only thing being is that we have to get basically 3 more power bombs in order for us to be able to do a second Crystal Flash. Because of the way that the requirements for it work. I should probably grab health as much as I can. In anticipation. I did not jump in time. Okay, so let's go save save down in the spot down here first. Then we'll try our hell run. I'll see if we can get more health in the meantime. That's a decent start. We can skip the check down there because we know what that is. Wow, that actually worked. Okay. That's cool. Varia. Yes. No, that's probably among like the worst possible places for Varia to be, especially when you don't have a lot of health to begin with. Because then you're just kind of stuck in a thing of like, how am I going to get through all this? I don't know if I even can, and then just that happens. And the problem is we still can't even get up there. So we still have to go kind of the long way. Yeah, let's get a little bit of a health refill just to be safe. That should be good. Yep. Just matters. Yeah, Varia does lower the damage that this does at least, so not gonna be as much risk of dying than we normally would be. Still don't have any movement of any kind, so we actually cannot get the power bomb check up here, which kind of sucks. Or can we get the... Actually, there's a bunch of stuff we get. How is that not a moonfall? Okay. Whatever you say, game. Oh god, why? Nah, it's just missiles. Actually, we can't even get anything unless we do... Okay. But we can get one more item this direction with a green gate glitch. There we go. Oh god. I need to remember not to do that. Yeah, wall jumping while underwater doesn't do much. By much, I mean like anything. Except if you're doing Studious Meridia, there's like one section where you do like constant wall jumps back and forth. You increase like 1 pixel at a time. But it's not fun, don't do it. Gravity! Okay, so all we need now for go mode is either speed booster or ice beam. Ooh, got the mock ball. Nice. Yeah, not having any more movement still kind of sucks, but... Especially because I still can't even get the high jump boots without anything other movement-wise. And high jump boots is like the least useful of the movement items. We have no regular bombs, so we can't use that. We don't have space jump. We don't have speed booster. Yeah, we have to go this way. Come on. Can't go that way yet. This is the our world's worst routing of a randomizer seed. I'm already kind of regretting deciding to let the progression speed, quote unquote, be randomized like this, because I did not realize it could be this friggin' slow and sloggy. I don't think I can even get through there without high jump. Okay, so what is locked out by speed booster? Let's find out. Come on. Okay, just missiles. I am fine with that. Charge. Okay, so charge makes it so we don't have to worry about anything about our missile or super missile count during the Lower North Airs, or not Lower North Air, no. Turian. Why did it take me so long to think of the name Turian? But yeah, now we can just do like murder beams on everything. Yeah, let's see what we can get down here. At the very least, we can scout the both items here. We can get one, scout the other. Now watch the one that I can't get be like bombs, which would normally let me be able to get that. Oh, reserve. Okay, I'm fine with that. More supers. Andy, why? Hey, no. What are you doing? Ooh. No, do not deactivate charge. I like that. I like that on, please. Thank you. No. At this point, we do not want spacer. We already have the better. We'll take the E-Tank. We actually haven't seen a lot of E-Tanks, which is kind of interesting. Alright, so hopefully... I mean, I guess hopefully we find something in the quicksand pits, but that would also kind of suck, because then we'd have to take a long way back around to make actual use of it. But yeah, I would like to have progression sometime sooner than later, honestly. We're not going to be able to get any items just from Botwoon. Do this. Actually, let's go ahead and do this side first, so we don't have grapple beam anyway. E-Tank? We'll currently take that. Just in case we get something else that's actually useful. Unfortunately, no. Now watch, we get grapple beam from the left quicksand pit, and then we have like space jump at Spring Ball. That's kind of what I'm expecting at this point. And then Spring Ball would lead to Bubble Mountain, which would then have like speed boost or something like that. Mr. Ed. Well, damn it. So where have I not checked that I can actually check now? What do I have access to? Apparently Meridian or Gravity Suit actually did us nothing. Nothing in Meridia actually gave us anything, except for charge, technically, but that's not even progression for anything. We don't have any kind of movement right now. In fact, the only movement item that we know where its location is currently blocked by movement. I mean, unless we can actually do something with Bubble Mountain that I'm just not realizing without any movement items. We've already got everything else here. I think it was super missiles down at Cathedral, right? Just to make sure. Yeah, supers. So not vital. We don't have ice, we don't have bombs, we don't have space jump, we don't have high jump. Doing a full jump out of here doesn't actually accomplish anything. Unless we do like a frame perfect jump, and maybe that gives us the reach? I don't think that'd be it. So what else am I missing? We've done everything in Criteria. We've done Gauntlet. We've done Retro Mother Brain. We've done Bound to Rizzo. We can't do ship PBs. Oh. We can do 230 missiles. Crap. That's way the hell up there. But the thing is, I legit do not think we can do anything else here. I mean, there's a chance we could do something with like a lot or the super precise jump here. But I don't know. That's too early. You know what, let's just go through here. Let's give this a couple more tries, and then we'll just probably go back to Criteria and get the 230 missile check. It's probably going to be something vital at this point. Maybe something like super minor, like a grapple beam. Oh, we can do this. Okay. Good to know. You literally need no movement to get through all of Bubble Mountain. Alright then. Now watch we get a vanilla speed booster. Nope. So the other problem with this is that we actually will not be able to get the upper left part of Bubble Mountain because we still don't have anything we need for that. Because I know for a fact we need high jump boost to be able to make that set of wall jumps. We need either high jump, we need space jump, or we need grapple beam. We need one of those three. And we have none. Unless we get one of those items in the 2 checks here. Well, there's a grapple, so I guess we can. Okay, we can X-ray now. Well, not X-ray, microwave. Not gonna turn my back on that. Nothing there is useful. I'm actually amazed I was able to collect that. That was a super awkward positioning. So we can use this to go down and get... We can chain this. We can go down and get high jump boots. We can get the item, or get the power bomb check by where Crocomire was. At this point, if I can do anything to bypass having to go back to Criteria, I'm going to do that. That is a pain in the ass route I do not want to go through. Well, actually, once we do get, yeah, once we get high jump, we can actually go through Lower Norfair. Wait, is this actually go mode? Was grapple beam our go mode? I shudder to think. Grapple go, wow. I still want to see if we can get something. Well, actually, no, we're still not in go mode because we need either ice or I can't think. Ice or speed booster in order to get to Meridia. There's bombs. So that's our flight. I have concerns, and they are many. Actually, I don't even need to power bomb through all this. Crap, it actually does damage me. Alright. I knew I screwed that one up at the end. Damn, just fire bombs. Alright. So what else can I get with my current assortment of items that I couldn't get before? So part of the problem is I can get Spring Ball now. But that is a long-ass check to do, and there's no guarantee it's going to be anything useful. I think the best case scenario is that we save at the entrance to Meridia, we go and do Spring Ball. If that's not it, we reset. Then we start heading back toward Criterion, getting all the checks up there that we couldn't get before. I think that's the play. We have everything here otherwise, I think. I still no speed booster, so we can't get the thing beneath charge beam. Wait, I forgot to do the save. Actually, no, it's not really gonna make that big a difference, honestly. We kind of spawn near-ish that point anyway. Ow. We know there's a reserve down there, so we're not worried about that. Oh god, why? I'm sincerely hoping that this is where we have to go for our go mode. Again, it's just between two items. It's either speed booster or ice beam. As soon as we get... wait. We could just be doing lower Norfair. I am being dumb. Alright. Since we're here, we'll do the proper check. I don't remember when I last saved, so I'm not going to try to do any resets or anything. We're just going to accept our time loss. Actually, we'll grab the E-Tank while we're back here. I think those are more super missiles up there, which I'm not worried about. There. Alright, hopefully you prove your worth, Jack Tool. Otherwise, there will be punishment and pain. Maybe even painishment. Because I'm certainly feeling the punishment after this, the way the seat is gone. No, let's just get it. This will make it official. Why? Okay. That one's on me. I think I can make this one even with high jump. There we go. And the rest is easy. Eddie's made himself comfy in my arm. And my wrist. Basically, my entire left appendage now belongs to Eddie. After all this, we had better find Speed Booster down in Low Norfair. I don't even care about Ice Beam. I want Speed Booster. I don't at least feel like things are going to be able to go faster. Oh, I actually got a Mach Vault there. Huh. Was that like just the right angle or trajectory? Oh god. Nope, okay. Not even close. that was a super good jump. Alright, please be speed booster. No, just... Okay, more supers. Welcome on in, Overlone Wolf. How you doing tonight? I'm in the middle of what I am considering to be basically like one of the longest Super Metroid Randos I've ever had to do. Because I noticed tonight that there's an option to randomize like the progression speed or the Super Metroid randomizer. I decided to let it randomize amongst all possible options. I made a grave mistake. So very grave. There we go. Really don't need to worry about farming these, but just because I'm here, I will. Come on. Alright, so I do have screw attack, so I can at least use that to get through here quickly. Yeah, usually when it comes to Super Metroid randomizers, usually this is the side of a kind of long seed, but still not too bad. Yeah, we're still looking for Go mode right now, which is kind of insane. Yeah, vibing. Yeah, vibing is kind of like one of the most ideal states to be, in my opinion. Just power bombs. All right. Caught on the ledge. Yep. Oh, I didn't quite time that right. All right. Oh, spin, please. Thank you. I just realized this is actually the vanilla theme for this area. And I've got the music randomizer on too. No, where's my last Go mode? Please. I want to feel like I'm fast. I'm actually amazed that jump worked. Alright, let's do this. Time to kick your ass in the head. Well, I kind of sucked at the start, but it works. Okay, I lost the track, alright. There we go. That was decent. We get go mode? No go mode, but I'll take it. It will officially let us do our, the stand-up glitch. Assuming I don't screw it up. Which even then, I do have, X-ray, so I can unscrew it up if I need to. Yeah, we have a few more checks down here to get to try to get the speed booster or ice. We just need one of those two. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought I had Spring Ball. And I was very quickly proven wrong. More ammo. Anything useful in here? Nope. Alright, how about here? Space jump. It's not go mode, but it's helpful. Speed booster. Go mode. Now we can actually beat the freaking game. Get up there. Thank you. Really? Now, ideally, in like the one or two last places we can actually get an item, I would love to see Ice Beam. We can do like everything in Turian super fast. There's been not a lot of going fast this seed. That's not how that's supposed to work. Try it again. Maybe that worked? Yes, it worked. Didn't work enough, but it worked. My can find Ice Beam in here, maybe. There's another E-Tank. We'll take that for a little bit of safety. Okay, I guess we'll take double safety. Alright, time to do some microwaving. Oh, he went the wrong way. Work? Maybe? Let's assume that worked. It did not work, okay. It was close enough. Okay, that's the fewest drops I've ever seen him drop. Bar none. Wow, there's a lot of E-Tanks now. Oh, I was one frame off. So close. Not only would have been my first halfie, it would have been my first full halfie. I just missed it. Alright, we'll get that one these days. Ice! We have full speed mode. Now nothing can stop us. There we go. Alright, let's see if I can actually do the microwave correctly this time. Well, that was actually quick. Actually, I didn't even need to powerbomb that. Oh. Good to know for future. That was a delayed freeze. Puppy Samus is best Samus indeed. Yeah, I never really had like a go-to sprite for Metroid until I saw this one. This one is just perfect. It's also nice how like the palette swap for randomizing like Samus' sprite always works perfectly with this one too. Like none of it just looks off or weird. It's just perfecto. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Also, a fun little fact. For the past 20 minutes or so, for the past 20 minutes or so, my cat has been kind of laying down and or sleeping in my arm. And I've still been playing like this the entire time. Yeah, like I said, I love the sprite. Now the thing is, you can make an argument that maybe this is actually supposed to be like a wolf sprite, not necessarily like straight up dog. Or it could technically be like maybe a scaly because of the way that the tail doesn't quite look fuzzy. Or it could be like a combination of the two. It could be like a wolf dog lizard. It can be whatever you want it to be. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different sprites you can pick for Samson's too. I think there's something like 25 just recolors, and probably about just as many now like custom sprites you can have as well, with this just being one of them. Why am I completely going against my normal setup? I don't know. It's just been one of those weird seeds, where just like everything is different for whatever reason. Okay, so I'm not expecting to be able to get the baby skip here, but I'm sure as hell gonna try. Because at least the new setup does make sense to me, so eventually I'll get it. Ow. I'll say, if I manage to get this with Eddie in my arms, that will actually be like the most amazing thing. Nope. Yeah, the lag there kind of screwed me up. So I don't need to fire on the second jump. It's only the third jump that I need to, or after the second jump I need to do that. If it wasn't for the lag, I actually might have gotten that. I was kind of in the right position for everything. See how well this can work. Yeah, first try. Ah, crap. There we go. Yep. Oh nice, we still got some super missiles. There we go. Yeah, if you ever want to try the stand-up glitch yourself, you need to make sure that Mother Brain does at least one attack before you trigger her next brainwave phase. Because otherwise, she will do her full beam attack on you, and she will kill you. I've learned that the hard way. Multiple times. She's silent. You scream like ninja. Okay, that setup did not go as well as I was hoping, but should still work. Yeah, because one of the important things as well is to make sure that the Metroid actually takes a proper amount of damage from all like the onion ring stuff like that. Because if it doesn't, it will actually cause a soft lock. Fortunately, I can say I've not had that happen to myself yet, but I know it's going to one of these days, and it's going to be amazing and horrifying at the same time. Action pose. Oh, no more action pose. Why did I blank on which button I need to press there? This has been an interesting night, that's all I can say. At least made that section work. Ooh, with the moonfall even. Sweet. Ah, damn it. Try again. Come on. There we go. Better. Hello, aminos. Be free. Now to try to finish up the seed and the timer without waking Eddie. Oh, it would help if I didn't overshoot the ship. There we go. Alright. That was a long-ass seed. I mean, that's even longer than some of like the door rend. Or, yeah, honestly, yeah, that's faster than one of the door randos I've done, I think. Now we get to watch a planet blow up. As is Samus's calling card. There's something just so satisfying about the visuals and the sound of that. I don't know if I can put it into words. We escape in our ship of death. Yeah, long ass seed. So the only thing we didn't find was Spring Ball, so I'm kind of curious as where that was. Let's take a look. And thank you for the GG. That was variable progression speed? Seriously? That was like 90% slow. My god. Okay, there are... Huh. More missile tanks than I realized. Doors about 14. That seems like an awful lot of time indoors. I spent more time indoors than I did in Criteria. Wow. Oh, almost 6 minutes even at Crockemeyer. I went down there like several times too. That was a decent Turian. Location. So yeah, Screw Attack was our starting progression. But we didn't get Morph Ball until like really late, so I feel like we got that kind of later than we were intended to. But yeah, where was Spring Ball? Oh, we're supposed to get Speed Booster like super early? The hell with that. Spring Ball. Missile Criteria Middle. Missile Criteria. Missile criteria middle? Oh, maybe that's the 230 missiles. That's like the one check we never actually got to. Okay, so that was just spring ball. Okay, that's fair. Alright, now again trying to progress here with a cat in my arm. Making it unavailable for like anything except being in bed. Dear Force! Alright. So let's go ahead and set up a little raid for a nice being that we all know and love, who's going to be apparently having his last stream before MFF tonight. Okay. I'm almost trying to type in like one of his emote names instead of his actual like Twitch name. And it doesn't quite work that way. And for some reason I feel like I need to double check to make sure I have it spelled right. Should be good. Let's go ahead and get ourselves loaded in. In the meantime, he shouldn't be on BRB yet. Let's do a quick check. Yeah, I think he's getting ready for a BRB maybe. But yeah, let's go ahead and start the raid of our good friend Lance. Yeah, he did it right the first time. Go me. Alright, so yeah, that's going to be it for me for the night. I'll be back on tomorrow with a... I have no idea. Kind of is the usual. I usually don't have a clue what I'm going to be doing on Tuesdays until I actually get to it. No, I was kind of thinking about doing like a dab rando for Super Metroid, because I haven't done one of those in a while. I don't know if I'm going to actually stick with that, but yeah, it's either going to be Super Metroid dab rando or just something else completely random. I don't know what yet. But yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central. And yeah, until then, have a good night. And I bid you your cat meow meme.